Hey everyone, welcome to our weekly live ANTS team training call. I am super excited to be with you guys again, to be meeting with you every week and continuing with our our coaching slash communicating slash mentoring slash encouraging of one another. I love these chats because we get to vibe a little bit and get to learn and grow from each other. So while we allow everyone to get onto the chat, get plugged in, every week we do this. We get started with our wins for the week, the things that we're celebrating that we've done between last week's call and this week's call. We meet here every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So we're kind of getting into a pattern here where we're getting more used to sharing our wins. We had some awesome celebrations last week. We had some title advancements. We had people who had events going on. We are tracking for our Bahamas trip. One thing that I haven't spoken about lately, though, is our, Avon calls it Rep Fest, but it's our Avon National Conference that we have this year. It's going to be held in Nashville, Tennessee. So it's a great opportunity for those of you who, whether you're new or you're an existing rep, Avon conferences are always an awesome chance for you to get connected, learn from other representatives, meet new people, connect with people from all over the country because it's a national event. So representatives come from all over the U.S. and the energy is just so high. Everyone is super excited. Everyone has come to learn, to grow, to find out about the new products. New Avon turns it out. I mean, last year's Rep Fest conference in Las Vegas was off the hook. I've never seen a Rep Fest like that. And I don't know if it was because it was our anniversary or if, New Avon just wants to turn it out. But I don't know what's going to happen this year. But I am super excited about it. So those of you who are on our live stream tonight, have you guys been saving up for Rep Fest? Have you registered? If you haven't registered yet, we've got like this week and maybe 1 or 2 more weeks in March. But for March, you can register for only $99. Avon is giving a discount, so you can save a lot of money. And like I said, this is a conference that you want to attend, whether you're a new rep or an existing representative who's been around for a few years. You want to try to get here. So it's great that you get to save a little by registering early. So take advantage of that early bird special. Register as early as possible so that you can save, and then you can allocate that money towards food or hotel or airfare or whatever. I'll be coming all the way from New York, and it's in Nashville, Tennessee. So I've been planning to save up for the airfare, and Avon will let you use your President's Recognition Program points. Try saying that 10 times fast. They'll let you use your PRP points towards your hotel registration or your conference registration. So I use my PRP points to pay for my registration. It's nice to not have to pay for anything out of pocket. So I took advantage of the early bird registration and the fact that I can use my PRP points. So leverage whatever you can to make it easier for you to go. As I mentioned last year, at the end of every conference, I start saving up for the next conference. But if you're just joining, it's not too late to start saving up from now. I like to get an estimate of how much I will be spending. As you guys know, I'm a big budgeter as of late. So I try to budget for everything ahead of time. So I've tried to set a budget for airfare and hotel and for food. I was able to save a couple of dollars by taking advantage of the early bird registration, save a little bit more by using my PRP points. And now I'm trying to rack up some more PRP points so that I can put it towards the hotel. But I do have a budget that I'm trying to stick to, and I've been, I divided it up over 12 months, so I've been trying to save incrementally. So right now, between now and Rep Fest, we have April, May, June, July, and August. We have 5 months to go. So start saving. If you put away $100 each month, that's $500 that you'll have to put towards your travel. And if you have PRP points that you're not using, instead of getting the golf clubs or, in my case, the PlayStation 4, put it towards your registration for conference, because you will not be you'll not be upset about the expense. That's something that's going to be so worth it. And when you get there, you're going to see the value in it. I always come back super recharged, super energetic with new ideas, a fresh outlook on my business. And I transfer that energy to my team when I get back. I've had the privilege of attending each conference these last few years with a member of my team. So we come back energized. And it's also a great time to bond and connect with other people. And I've met a lot of people through Facebook that we've had the opportunity to physically connect with in our conferences. So it helps you build on relationships. Plus, Avon gives you a really nice swag bag, and you get to leave with products ahead of time. So usually RepFest is in August, Christmas is in December. Usually Christmas items start coming out end of September, November. So you're previewing Christmas stuff from August, and you get to walk away with a lot of freebies and goodies to share with your customers. So you do get back your conference registration in stuff, definitely. So save up for RepFest and let's all go and meet there. I have to scroll the feed to see who's on and to comment on you guys's wins for the week. You guys is, because that's a word now, to comment on everyone's win for the week, but I'm afraid to touch the screen. All right. Hey, Jessica Z, welcome. And Miss Hope, welcome to the chat. Miss Susan, welcome. Thank you for joining. Angela, hey, how are you? Jessica M as well, welcome to our chat. Miss Angelique, thank you for joining. I'm trying to scroll. Hey, Chris, welcome. And Miss Lisa is here. Hey, long time no see, Miss Lisa. I think I got everyone. Yes. So, oh yeah, Janet just said that mask that just came out. So even more so than, previewing Christmas stuff before they came out, the masks that have just launched in Campaign 7 this month, we actually got to take home after RepFest. So I was, I demoed it and I tested it out way back in August, and now everyone is getting the opportunity to try it out, that it's in the Campaign 7 brochure. So thanks, Miss Janet, you're right. We actually do get to preview the items way ahead of time, and prepare our customers for it. So it's a great way it's just an awesome investment in your business. I can't tell you how much I believe in the Avon conferences. After my first conference in Las Vegas in 2009, I think that was when my business really took a turn for the better. I just left there with this mindset after meeting so many representatives who were really earning from this business and who were, changing their lives. It was different to meet them in person and hear their stories and hear the stories of all the representatives, just be in a room with, thousands, hundreds. I think I can honestly say thousands. It's a huge room, but to be in a room filled with so many representatives who are accomplishing and sharing their stories and excited about their business, to come home, you can't buy that. And it's not the same as when you read it in a magazine. So definitely check out your President's Points and see if you can put them towards your conference registration. Register. I advise you to register before the end of March because you save. It's like getting, I don't remember if it was 25 or 30% that they gave us, but they gave us a huge discount. So you save quite a bit of money just by registering early. And it'll also help you commit to going. If you, put that down payment on your registration, you're not going to play games and you're not going to fool around when it comes to making the time to go. So definitely book your RepFest registration. All right, so I think we've built up a bit of an audience here while I chatted away. So I kind of want to share our wins for the week. So as you guys know, we do this every week. Start sharing your wins for the week down in the chat box below so we can all celebrate with you. Miss Susan says she's definitely going for sure. Yeah, that's how I feel when RepFest comes around. I was like, if I'm alive and healthy, I'm on my way. So I'm looking forward to RepFest, and I've been counting the months as we get closer. Molly Bibb is on my live call. Hi, Mama Molly. Welcome. Oh my gosh, so honored. So I would like to share with you my win for this week. A couple of them. Last week, as I mentioned, I had some wins and it kind of got overshadowed by everything that was happening. But this week I couple of wins I'm going to be sharing later on, either later today or tomorrow. I will be sharing a live stream with my first scratch off ticket. Yes, I did get my first finally. As you guys know, with this going to a Bahamas trip, Vacation Like a Boss incentive, Avon has paired that with another incentive called, I think it's Ticket to Boss Life. So you've got the Bahamas trip going on, you've got the Ticket to Boss Life trip going on. So as you do the things that we normally do to build our business, one of which is recruiting, if you're into earning that residual income, Avon is going to reward you in various ways for referring a friend and helping them to build a successful business, get off to a great start, to build a strong foundation. So in addition to earning points, either 300 or 150 points for a new representative that you recruit, you will also get a scratch-off ticket for a person that you refer who is a personal referral. So it's not a lead that you bought from Avon. It's someone that you went out and you found by yourself. So you'll get 300 points. That's for a ticket to, Vacation Like a Boss. And then you'll also get a scratch-off ticket, and these scratch-off tickets have a variety of prizes. We're talking TVs, trips to Disney World or Disneyland, I never know the difference. But the other day, a representative earned her ticket to Disneyland, a trip for a couple of days, all expenses paid for, and there are 4 of them out there. So we're all waiting to see if we get our scratch-off. They have cash prizes. I've seen people win umbrellas and water bottles, business building tools, things that you can use to promote your business, gift certificates to stores and, to, what do we call it, Avon Town and Country, where we get all of our business supplies. So it's a great opportunity to get free stuff. And this is on top of the cash that you get for referring a friend. If you're an existing representative, you get a $20 cash bonus. And if you're a long-term representative, if you're a brand new representative who's been with us for 6 campaigns or less, you get $50 cash bonus. And then on top of that, you also have your earnings as a leader. So you can earn a variety of percentages from your team sales. So these are opportunities, guys. When we talk about, sometimes we're talking about that mega couponing, people who coupon for a living and they combine and pile their coupons on top of each other so that they could save the most. And there are people who coupon so well that they get like free toothpaste and cash back even. This, combining your incentives, is like mega couponing without having to sit and flip through catalogs and clip coupons and fill your purse with all those things, because I'm the one who never remembers that I have a coupon and I go into the store and I buy things full price. But what I love about this is that all of these incentives that Avon is running, they automatically, Avon does the math and they calculate and then they send you your rewards. So you could be earning points for your trip to the Bahamas. You could be earning your scratch-off ticket, plus your cash bonus for recruiting, plus your recruiting percentage, your commission that you would normally get. So it's like 4 or 5 ways that you can earn and put money in your pocket. There are too many representatives who are sleeping on this. So guys, reach out to me if you're on my team. If you're not on my team, reach out to me and I could probably provide you with resources and information anyway. If you have another upline, reach out to her and, connect with your district managers as well, because they're here to make sure that you're taking advantage of these incentives. Avon has money on the table for you. It's like somebody has left a will for you with all of this cash, and all you have to do is, hit these certain incremental goals. So don't let it just sit there. It's free money, and we've all come in here for, I don't know of anybody who's come here who's like, no, I don't need any money. But most of us are here for money. So take advantage of these bonuses. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't need cash, maybe you want to travel the world, maybe you want to take the family on a vacation, for the Bahamas incentive, you can actually earn a trip for 2. So this is a great opportunity for you to travel the world on Avon's dime. It's like free money, guys. I need a little Monopoly man or someone to just, make it rain. This is what Avon wants to do in our lives. Take advantage of it. And I hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, I don't want to get into it because I'll never build to be that big. Okay, well, if you earn an extra $500, it's an extra $500 in your pocket. Why not? Why, write yourself off because you're afraid you're not going to earn 25,000? At least, 500, 800, 300, even if it's $20, it's, some gas money that you would normally have to take out of your pocket anyway. So go for it. Whatever you do, it's getting you closer to your goal because you're building your business. You're getting the earnings, you're earning the points, you're always progressing. So don't write yourself off in the beginning. Go for every incentive and get whatever you can out of it. I can't tell you how many times I work with a person who's like, oh, I'll never earn that. And then they turn it around and they're like, oh, I got that? When? So, just try for it and you might surprise yourself. The first incentive that I did, I think it was in 2013. I was terrified because I'd never done an incentive before, but I wanted it so badly, I didn't want to give up. It was the 30 and 30 incentive that we did in our division. You hear me talk about it all the time because for me, it was a turning point in my business. This is a point where I had a mindset shift from, oh, you can't do that. That's not for you. Those incentives are for those people. There's always that group of people who are earning the incentives. You're not one of them. And I fed myself all of those lies. But when it came to an incentive that I wanted, and it was a Keurig, no, it was a 30 and 30 first, and then followed. The 30 and 30 was like a district incentive, and then after that was the Keurig incentive, and I wanted that coffee machine so bad. You guys know how I love my coffee. I have coffee t-shirts. It's that bad. But I wanted these things so bad that I said, okay, I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to try, and I surprised myself because I made it. So, don't write yourself off before you go and try these incentives. Really just give it a shot. So tonight we have an interesting call. As you guys know, we are doing our leadership series called Act Like a Leader, Think Like a Mogul. And tonight we're going to be doing the topic that you guys have been avoiding like the plague. And it is called It's Not All About You, Cupcake. And I actually took this from Molly Bibb because she always says in her group, it's not all about you, Cupcake. And I said, you know what? While I was thinking and writing out a plan for this for the series that we're doing in our live stream, I had some topics that I wanted to cover, and then I was thinking about titles. And when I got to this topic, I wrote out the topic first, and I was like, what can I call it? What can this topic be? And I could hear Molly's voice saying, it's not all about you, Cupcake. And I was like, okay, that is it. That is going to be our topic of discussion for tonight. So tonight we're going to be continuing in our series. Hey, Miss Olga, welcome. Today we're going to be continuing our juicy leadership series with a topic called It's Not All About You, Cupcake. And as I said, I realized that you guys really didn't want to hear about this topic. Last week, or I should say 2 weeks ago, I gave you guys the options to choose between this topic of discussion, It's Not All About You, Cupcake, and It's Time to Work. And everybody wanted to hear It's Time to Work, but nobody wanted to talk about this topic. And I was laughing because I was like, you know what? This is the topic that you guys, that all of us really need to hear. Sometimes it's the stuff that you don't want to hear that is going to be the most valuable for your business, that can provide the most turnaround. Sometimes the things you don't want to hear are the things that you need to hear because that's what's causing a blockage in your growth or your progress or your success. So you don't want to let those things get in your way because you're afraid to face them. Face your fears, overcome the obstacles, overcome objections, and that's when you'll start to see some growth, not only in your business, but in your personal life. And you guys know I am a big, proponent of personal development. And sometimes it's stuff that you don't want to hear. I talk with my family, I talk with my manager, I talk with my upline, and sometimes they're telling me stuff and I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's scary. And how many of you guys are doing the things that now that when you first started were scary for you? How many of you have gotten into this business and said, oh, I'll never be that person, or oh, I can never do that, what they're doing, and surprise, surprise, you find yourself as that person training and coaching other people, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, that's me? How did I get into this position? I never thought I was capable of this. But it comes from meeting those objections and those things that you're afraid to do head on. So I know ahead of time, this is going to be a topic that you guys are a little leery of, but bear with me because this is something that we all need to hear, and this is something that is definitely going to benefit your business if you can implement it. So I have 3 things that I want to share with you guys tonight. Jessica says she tries to stay uncomfortable, and they say, you know, when you're uncomfortable, that's where growth happens. And we were kind of talking about it last week, that, you know, the growing pains when you're in life or in business, when you're feeling that stretch, that pull, that struggle, it's a good feeling. It's like when you go to the gym. Not that I would know, because we don't like to do that here. But when you work out and you feel that burn, it's good because you're building new muscle, you're losing weight. Me, my lungs just burn because I don't exercise. But that transition that you're going through is a good thing. So exactly, Jessica M. That is a great way to put it. Stay uncomfortable, and that's when you have growth. So we're going to have some fun tonight. I know, like I said, I know you don't want to hear this topic, but I'm going to try to make it fun. So when I was thinking about this topic and I was trying to think of how I can convey this message to you. Hey, Laura. I thought about what a leader is. We all know what leaders are. We all know the definition of a leader, whether you're a leader in your business or a leader outside. Leadership is basically the same across the board. There are different minute roles that each leader has to play in different businesses, but overall, there are just some traits that belong to a leader. I definitely recommend that you read John Maxwell. And there's another guy whose name I probably should have written down. And of course I didn't, but definitely John Maxwell. He has a lot of great books on leadership, so check him out. Okay, by the end of the video, if I don't remember, I'll post it in the comments. There's another guy that I like to hear. He has videos on YouTube, and I like to listen to him. I can't remember. He has a book, which is now on my iPad, that I can't pull it up to show you. When I'm on my phone, I want to show you notes from my phone. And when I'm on my iPad, I want to show you notes from my iPad. But I will post his name at the end. But he also has a lot of great leadership tips and tricks. So we're all used to hearing the things that a leader does. We know that a leader is in charge of leading other people. But I think that's where we start to have a hiccup, when other people get involved. And, you know, everybody wants to be a leader because we see what leaders do, we see the role that they play, and we see all the glamour, the recognition, the celebration. We get those pearls of wisdom, and we're like, yeah, we want to be like that. But becoming that person, first of all, they had to go through a lot of obstacles. They had to go through the refining fire to become what they are now. So they didn't just wake up one day, roll over and say, bam, leader, I got this, I'm good. They had to go through tough times, and they had to go through trials, and they had to overcome to get to that position. So there's a saying that says, you know, be careful when you ask for patience, because patience is developed by waiting, and nobody wants to wait. So it's kind of the same thing with leadership. So when you're getting into a leadership role, be prepared. First and foremost, there are going to be tough times and there are going to be obstacles, but what's going to make you that, you know, great, strong leader is overcoming those obstacles. So don't, you know, like we were saying last week, don't run from those obstacles. I know it's easier said than done to embrace them, but those are those obstacles, those things are going to refine you and make you the leader where other people can look to you and learn from you. It's those experiences that you overcome that are going to give you a testimony to reach out and inspire other people. So first and foremost, keep that in mind. A leader is the product that you see at the end is the person that's been honed and refined. It's like looking at a finished steel blade. It came from iron ore, it had to be melted down, it's melted, beaten, and worked into a fine sword. So you can't look at the sword and say, yeah, I want to be like that, but be the lump of coal without going through the fire. So you have to go through that fire to get to being that honed steel. The next thing I want you to do when you think about a leader is, I like to visualize. I'm a visual learner, graphic designer person. I like visuals. Sorry, I was reading. Marisol says there are times when you fail as a leader, but it's those times that I can't see because the clamp is in the way, but it's those times that those failures are where you learn. Absolutely. Great point, Miss Marisol. yeah, those are the things that you learn from that help you grow. So what I want you to visualize for a moment with me, guys, is I want to give you two pictures of leaders. The first picture is, and I kind of struggled with this for a while, but I came to the point of, say, like back in the days in Egypt, or in ancient times where people rode chariots, they had usually a leader, a figurehead on top of the chariot. Picture, what is that movie, The Ten Commandments? This is what I had in my head. So there's that image of Pharaoh riding through in his chariot. He's up in the chariot, he's mounted high, he's got guys on the ground, and they're going through the field, and the slaves, the indentured servants, everyone else is out in the field doing the work. So the Pharaoh, he kind of rides through, he's clean, he's on his chariot. He doesn't even speak directly to the people that are in the field. He tells his manager guy, who's usually next to the chariot, what he wants to say. That person might run out to maybe the field hand and you know, tell him what the Pharaoh said, and then the field hand will usually distribute to the people. So you have that one image of that Pharaoh type of leader. On the other hand, what I like to picture is actually George Washington. Do you guys know that painting of George Washington? I think he's crossing the Delaware, going into battle. And I wish I had a photo, but I do not, because you guys are on my tablet. But Google it. George Washington crossing the Delaware River. In that image, take a look at where he is. They're all on a boat, but he's at the front of the boat. I think at that time Washington was the general. He probably wasn't president yet. But he's towards the front of the boat. He's standing up. As soon as you look at the picture, there are like two people that you might say, okay, which one is the leader? But Washington is a little more forward. He's a little taller, a little higher up than everyone. When you look at it, you think, okay, this is the guy in charge. But what I like about that image of George Washington in that boat is that he's at the front. He's at the front of the boat. He's in the same boat as everyone else. And if you look in the background of the photo, you'll see some more boats towards the back. So he's in that lead boat. These guys are in war. They're in battle. They have, I guess, muskets and, what do you call those other things? Cannons at that time. But it's not like warfare now where we have like heavy artillery. But they could snipe you from the river. They could send out a cannonball and sink your boat from the other side of that river. So for George Washington to be at the front of that boat and, you know, at the head of the pack, he's kind of put himself in harm's way. But he's showing the guys that he's with, you know, look, I'm doing this with you. I'm here with you. And I'm pretty sure he was talking to those guys and, you know, encouraging them. It was cold in that time. And they didn't have, that war was a tough war. They didn't have Uniqlo insulation like we do now. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that he had to struggle with morale. The guys in the boat talking, they're rowing. They're probably, you know, not like, yay, we're off to war. We're going to go fight these guys on the other side. They're probably like, okay, yeah, we're doing this. We've got families back home. We're fighting for our beliefs. But there's got to be some time where he had to give speeches and encourage and rally his troops. And I like to see George Washington at the front of the boat, because when I look at that visual of a leader, I see he's in the thicket with those guys. He's on the line just like everyone else. He is leading by example, and he is in the front so that everyone can see him. And that is the image that I like to hang on to when I think of a leader. So when I say it's not all about you, Cupcake, what I'm trying to say is I think that a lot of people see the image of the leader, the Pharaoh, the George Washington, whatever it is, and they're like, I want to be like that. But what sometimes happens is we become the Pharaoh. We want to, you know, ride pretty and keep clean and, you know, kind of instruct everyone else on what to do. But we don't want to be in the field getting dirty with everyone else. We don't want to lead by example. We do what we do. We do it in the background. We don't care if anybody sees or not. We're like, this is about me. I'm going to take care of me and mine. And our team, the people we're leading, they don't benefit from having a leader in the field with them. So I think it's so important that as leaders, we keep in mind that within the actual definition of being a leader, it's if you Google it, it's, leading others. So it's more than just sitting up in a chariot and pointing down to, this person, you do that, you go out and you get that. It's about being that example for the person. A few years ago, I heard a quote saying that there's a difference between a leader and a manager. And if you Google it, there are a lot of images online where a leader, I love the image of a guy. It's like a bunch of guys pulling a rope, something heavy, and they have a rope. The leader is the one in the front, and everybody is getting together to pull that rope together. While a manager is the one, again, that image of a pharaoh. He's sitting up on the chariot and he's directing everybody. Pull. You guys go that way. But everyone else is doing the work. And I think that as leaders in our business, we have to be the ones who are at the forefront. In our business, it's very much like leading a group of volunteers. We're not managers. We don't have the power to hire and fire. So it becomes super important for us to be in the thicket with the other people that we're leading. And when we get into that mindset, we really have to say, you know what? It's not all about me. Yes, you want to earn an extra income. Yes, you want to change title. Yes, you want the recognition. But it also becomes about the benefit of your team, seeing them rise and grow and do well just as you would like for yourself. Why? Because they're in this with you. They're not working for you. We're all a partnership working together. Another graphic that I like to see is Avon's leadership symbol. There's that picture of the staircase and a person at the top reaching down to give a hand to the person below and pull them up. That is what our leadership is about. If you're just at the top, like, yeah, I'm at the top, I'm good, you're not really maximizing your leadership potential. But when you turn around and you help that person coming up behind you, or when you reach down and help pull someone up, whether it's mentoring or coaching or words of encouragement, whatever it is, hey, Colleen, that is when you really embrace the leadership role. So I want to encourage us to go from being the Pharaoh to being George Washington crossing Delaware. Now, why do we want to do that? It all sounds well and good for some of you. Some of you are just like, no, it's about me. It's going to be about me always. But let me give you a couple of reasons why it benefits you as well to think about the other person and put the good of others ahead. So first and foremost, when you're leading, you have to have people behind you to lead. If you piss everyone off, if you're disrespectful, if you're not the kind of person that people trust, they will leave. They're not going to want to work with you. And yes, there are going to be people as well who are not going to work with you if you're goal oriented and if you're, trying to push forward, because there are also the people who are just like, oh, she thinks she's too good for everyone. Where does she think she's going? You'll always have those people as well. But as a leader, if you're still working towards your goals and if you're persevering, you can attract other people to you because they're going to want to be on the same path as you. They're going to be working towards their goals and they're going to be working towards doing good. But if they find that you're in it for yourself and you will stab any and anybody else in the back to get to where you're going, they will run from you. And then you'll be, back where you started, which is not progressive. So you have to have in a level of integrity to keep people working with you. And when people are working with you, you can actually go further. On my blog, I have an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to, how does it go? If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to, Blanca says she totally agrees. And there's more text. Hang on. Yeah, what are you leading if you're not leading? Good point, Blanca. Thank you. So, African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. That's what it is. And I love that. And I have it on our group page because it shows, the benefit of working with others. So here's another benefit. As Blanca says, first and foremost, you have to have people to coach and train and lead. So you need other people to lead, to be a leader. But also, when you're going alone, you tend to have more burnout. And it causes stress and discouragement because you don't have other people to go with you. Think about it. If you have to go for a long distance by yourself, you tend to want to put in music, you tend to want to read a book, you want to do something to keep your mind occupied, right? So it's kind of the same thing in your business. If you're going alone, yeah, you may be going fast, but when you're going alone, you tend to have, hey, Sister Rebecca. So when you're going with others, you can avoid that burnout because the pressure isn't all on you. Think about this. Imagine yourself playing a sport, a team sport, whether it's football, basketball. I don't really know that much about baseball, but we'll stick with football and basketball. So imagine you're playing football or basketball, and you are a one-man team going up against a full team. So picture yourself on the football field. It's you against 18. I don't know how many people are playing at a time in football. However many linebackers and those big dudes, and it's your job to get from your side of the field to the other side, but you have to go through all of those people. Maybe you'll get lucky a couple of times and bob and weave your way through, but listen to me, the third round, what do they have in football? What are the different stages? By a couple of minutes or hours in, you're gonna be exhausted because it's you against 18 other big dudes. And while you're trying to bob and weave and cover one side of the field and the other side of the field, all these guys are going to be on you. You're going to lose. You're not going to have a good time at it. Think about, thank you, Jessica, quarters. By, second or third quarter, you're going to be exhausted. Same thing with basketball. Do we have quarters in basketball too, Jess? Same thing in basketball. If it's you alone against a team, then you're going to have to dribble that ball all around everyone else. They're going to be on top of you. They're going to maul you. It's going to be you against all these people. But imagine, with a team, now things start to balance out. So you can pass the ball to someone else. You can carry the ball halfway. They can carry the ball the rest of the way. You can pass the ball around to distract the other players so that, they're not just on top of you. But a one-man, you can't have a proper game with a one-man team. It's going to be a slaughter. It's the same thing as a leader. When you're going by yourself, you get discouraged so easily because there's so many odds against you. You're working to overcome so much. You have nothing to delegate. You have nothing, no one else there to encourage you as well. So you'll be exerting so much energy. It'll take you 2, 3, 4 times as much energy to get the same job done if you had a group of people working with you, right? And you're outnumbered. Like I said, the odds are so much against you. You're so outnumbered. You're already starting off at a disadvantage. Yeah, maybe you can move a lot faster by yourself if you're a one-man team, but it's not going to work out for too long. And as you can tell, I know about sports, but I don't really follow them. That's from my brother, my dad, and my brother-in-law. But sometimes I hear them talking about how this player thinks he's a one-man show and he refuses to pass the ball. And it hurts the entire team because this guy is not leading. And as a result, his stats are going down because now he's losing games. And he's also bringing down the people around him because he's not sharing the ball. He's a ball hog. So you don't want to be a ball hog in your business. And lastly, when you do that, you actually give other people the upper hand. Because now that you made the decision to start off at a disadvantage. They're going to come in now like, who's this one person against all 18 of us? So all 7 of us, we've got him. We're taking him down. He's not going to win. So they're given, a higher, you're giving other people the benefit. All those naysayers, all the people who said that, you're not going to make it, that you can't do this, you're kind of confirming that at that point. So all the time you took to rally yourself and build yourself up and say, yeah, I could do this, you're going to burn out so much faster because now you're like, I can't do this by myself. Look what I'm up against. But by being a leader and helping other people, bringing other people onto your team, you now have a stronger force to go up against all those obstacles and all those enemies that are trying to outnumber you. Now, another thing that I want you to think about is there's another quote. It says that you can do 100% of the work yourself, or you can have 100 people do 1% of the work. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about things as well. If you're going about this business as a one-man show, are you doing 100% of the work yourself? Wouldn't it be better if you divided it up and had, 100 people working with you to accomplish the same goal? Let's say it's your goal. We talk about sales and we talk about sales levels and, growing. Hey, Annalisa, welcome. Oh, and Miss Nancy, welcome. So we talk about leadership and changing title and building your team and, increasing sales and all of that. So, yeah, you can sell $100,000 yourself, or you can have 100 people sell $1,000. It's a lot easier. You can have 200 people sell $500, even more doable. So by breaking up your goals, hey Milagros, welcome. By, breaking it up and dividing it among different people, it becomes more doable. You're able to accomplish so much more as a person who's dividing up the roles and responsibilities, dividing up the workload as well. So those are things that you want to keep in mind when you're thinking about, is this leadership thing something that I want to do? Can I commit to someone else? Isn't it going to hurt me if I'm focused on building somebody else up? It is all about me. I want it to be all about me. Why do I need to help another person or stop what I'm doing to give a hand to someone else? Because you're really not stopping. You're not discontinuing on your walk. Maybe you have to slow down a little bit, but again, if you want to go far, you go with others. If you want to go fast, you go alone. And if you want to exert more energy and get beat by Jessica, how many people are on a football field at a time? If you want to be crushed by the opposing football team, yeah, go by yourself. But if you rally a team around you, you can go a lot further. So, I like to say, as I said, this is a series for leaders and building that leadership mindset. So now that you have it in your mind that, building a team is the way to go, we're going to be that strong army. We're going to go and, rally together. We're going to be like George Washington in the boat with his posse. Jessica says she thinks it's 11. Oh my gosh, could you imagine going up against 11 of those big guys by yourself? I would probably just die of a heart attack even thinking about it. So yes, team for me. So I'm going to give you guys three things to keep in mind, because it's very much in this business. Now that you've made the decision to build a team and to grow a team, there's still another step. So first is getting in the mindset of what a leader is and what the leader's role is. Next is knowing the importance of having a team and setting your mind on, building the strength and the, the endurance that comes with having a team. But that's not enough. You have to take yet another step, which is to get past just, I'm going to bring people in my team. I'm going to put everybody in the boat. You can't stop there. And this is another thing that I see happen often with leaders. You pile everybody into your boat. We're out there, we're recruiting, or we're buying leads, or we're going to events, and we're doing stuff to encourage people to join, and it stops after that. So what you have to do is keep another 3 things in mind. So it's more than just recruiting in this business. Because bringing people into the company doesn't make you a leader necessarily. You have to become more than the leader. In a few episodes, I guess I could say episodes, in a few streams ago, we talked about the difference between in sales, a person who's an order taker and a salesperson, right? And an order taker, just collects the orders and that's it. A good salesperson, though, they get to know their customer. They get to know their customer's needs. They develop a relationship, right? We talked about that when we were talking about sales. It's the same thing in leadership. You have to develop that relationship. And again, go back to the idea of the football team and the basketball team. How well will each player play if they don't know the other people who are part of their team, if they don't practice together, if they don't go to events together? All that time that they're spending on that smelly bus, yeah, I'm sure they could all fly to their game separately and they can all take their separate cars, but I think there's something about getting onto that bus with that coach and, you know, being in that atmosphere of, yeah, we're doing this together, we're in this together, we're all on our way to winning this next game. You have to have that that team mentality. And as a leader, it's up to us to build that team environment. Yes, Jessica, perfect. You need that unity. Wonderful word. You need the unity that comes with having a team. And if you're a leader, you need to work on building unity. So here are 3 things that will help you to go beyond just recruiting and training, to start training for success. So the first thing is you need to build success. Kind of a no-brainer, right? But you need to work with others to build success, because it's not all about you, Cupcake. Don't you just love in the movies when they say the title of the episode? So this is it. You have to work on building success in others, because if you're on a team in basketball and you're dribbling that ball and, you know, shooting and doing all that stuff by yourself, and you're not working with the other people, you're not leading as strongly as you could be. So you want to work on building success amongst your teammates. And some of them, it may just be sales, but you have to show people how to get that earnings. You need to show them how to find customers. You know, you work with them, you do the coaching and the training that Avon provides us with, you pass it on. Everything that you know, whether you've learned it through personal development outside of the business, everything you use for your business to learn and grow, you need to pass that on to someone else. It's not enough for you to know how to play basketball well, because if your team doesn't know how to play and you get out in the game, you're still going to get creamed, because it's still, for all intents and purposes, you against that 11, right, Jessica? Right. So, oh, yeah, she brings up a good point. So Jessica says that, remember, it's like when you started, you needed someone else to kind of coach you and guide you and mentor you and provide that, you know, training and encouragement. You need to pay it forward and to do that for someone else. Thanks, Jess. Next thing is you need to build leaders. Why? Because what happens if you sprain your ankle during a game? Your team is going to lose without you? Not so good. Your team needs to be able to function. And I know it's hard to let go and delegate and, you know, get in your mind that you want to have replacements, but your team should be able to function without you. So, and, you know, even don't take this as me, you know, being the pharaoh up in my chariot, because these are things that I'm working on for myself. Every training that I've done with you guys has very much been me reflecting and saying, okay, these are the areas of my life where I need to learn and grow. But I'm passing it on to you guys because this is where I am in my life, and these are my aha moments that I'm sharing. So, Blanca says, preach. Yeah, it's a really, I have to think this way because I need analogies so that I can justify things to myself. But you need to build other people up as leaders on your team. So you need to encourage other people to become leaders, to see the value of being a leader, to see the benefits of working and building and developing a team. And then when you as a leader build other leaders, you are a, you know, successful leader. Now you are really leading people, because it's one thing for, what can I say, George Washington to lead a band of merry men. But it's another thing for George Washington to have Abe Lincoln over there. You know, those types of leaders, if you think about the military, they have generals. There's one guy at the top, and then there are other guys below, and those guys are leading other guys. I don't know, general, captains, infantrymen, I guess you could put it like that. So keep that in mind. Chess, you've got the king and queen, you've got the rook, the knight, the bishops, and you have the pawns. Actually, no, scratch that. I don't like the chess analogy because I don't want to think of people as pawns. Think about it as a chess game with other knights. So instead of pawns, we have knights on the field. I like that. So, hey Myra, welcome to the chat. So as a leader, you want to get in the habit of developing other leaders, coaching them on how to build deep. So if you are a leader, you need to have other people on your team who are leading others. And I love the Avon structure because our business is structured so that when we start developing leaders on our team, we all move up. So if you help someone up, think about it as a very narrow step. If you're on that little 2-inch step and you help someone else on, the both of you can't fit. So one of you is going to move up and then help that next person up. So you get everybody onto the stairs and everybody moves up together. I'm pretty sure there's a baseball analogy in there, but I don't know baseball that well, so we're going to stay away from that. But get in the habit of reaching down to your team and talking to them about leadership, talking to them about being a mentor to others. And thirdly, you want to build deep. And building deep is when you start to see that duplication result. So now, as a leader, you're building other leaders, and those leaders can build other leaders. And that's the aha moment. So when you stop making it being about you, Cupcake, that's when you start developing other people who can function on their own, who are leading other people, and that's when you start to see the exponential growth. So that's where you want to be in your business, and that's where you want to be as a leader. And we're all going to be on this path where we're developing. I don't think there's a point where you can get to where you can say, I'm perfect, I got this, there's nothing else for me to learn. I think if you're at that point where you're like, I know everything, there's nothing else for me to learn, you still have a long way to go. You haven't learned it all, and you're tuning out the things that you need to learn. So you've got to be in a place where you're coachable and where you're able to learn and grow so that you can take in the things that you need to positively influence other people, so that those other people can take in the things that you're giving them and positively influence others. So it becomes like a continuing cycle. You start to see the exponential growth, you start to build your team, and you start to move forward. I think a lot of people are asking, how do I see success? I'm in that point too where I'm like, okay, what's happening? Why are things not moving forward? It's because somewhere in the line, there's some sort of stagnation. There isn't that passing down of the knowledge. Somewhere in there, there's a disconnect. So we have to look at ourselves and say, okay, what can we do? Because in our earlier chats, we were talking about one of the roles of a leader, one of the traits and behaviors of a leader is looking at an obstacle and saying, okay, what is it within our power that we can do? And you want to look at that and say, okay, what can I change? I can work on the culture of my team. I can work on outreach. I can work on development with my team, doing coaching, mentoring, and developing. But you want to take those things that is within your power to do and do them. And it doesn't, again, happen overnight. It's going to take time. But I don't think there are any leaders out there who have gotten to where they are without turning around and helping other people up. So my alert is telling me it's time to study. All of my gadgets are telling me it's time to go. But I want you guys to keep those things in mind. So first, build success, not just for you, but for others. 2, build leaders, build people who can lead others. And 3, that's when you'll start to see that exponential growth, when people are building deep. When you can coach someone to coach someone else, or coach another 2 people, that's when you're successfully working as a leader. So keep partnering with people to help them grow and develop among themselves so that they could be just as successful or even more. I try to always think, what can I do to make this person more successful than I am? Because, and I tell you guys all this time, when you're like, oh yeah, I want to be like that, I'm like, no, aim higher. Aim further than me. Don't look at me and say that's where I want to be. Look higher than that, because there's always somewhere else to go, because I don't even want to stay where I am. I want to move up. So keep those 3 things in mind, and keep these traits and characteristics of a leader in your mind as you go about your business. Look at your team, look at your business, and look for areas of opportunity, places where you can positively influence the life of someone else and help them become a leader, so that everyone can grow as leaders. So that's my chat for tonight. I hope you guys find this useful. Let me know in the chat box what you guys are thinking. Jessica says, thanks for inspiring all of us. Thank you guys for inspiring me, because like I said, we're all in this together. I am not a super leader. I'm learning, and this is part of the learning process. This is me being a leader. Look at me. I'm trying to develop other leaders. So, take that and run with it. Jess, I appreciate you guys watching and listening to me prattle on for 45 minutes. Questions, guys, comments, concerns. Myra says, thanks for the input. You're very welcome, Miss Myra. Oh, and side note, for those of you who are in the tri-state area, there is a leadership meeting tomorrow night. Reach out to your uplines. It's going to be in Queens, so if you're close to Queens, reach out to your uplines or your district managers to see when and where the event is going to be, so that you can come and talk with other leaders. Colleen, hi Miss Colleen, I didn't see you jump in on the call. She said great leadership tips. Thank you. Milagros, yeah. So after this, we're all ready for Rep Fest, and we're all working on building other leaders, right? Hope says, thanks you. You're very welcome, Miss Hope. Future leader, huh? Hope? What? Maybe? Okay. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you guys for joining. And next month, we have one more week left in March. So next week, we're going to be doing the last session in our series of Act Like a Leader, Think Like a Mogul, where we're working on your leadership development and your mindset. So we'll be working on that next week. It's the last one in the series. So definitely check back on my YouTube channel. I post all the videos so you can get caught up if you missed the other sessions. Okay. Miss Janet put the address in the link below. So if you guys are in the Queens area, swing by. She's got a time there. Yep, 7 to 9. So she's got the address and the time. Check it out. I will be there. I guess, spoilers, I might be speaking. So you might get to hear a little bit more of me tomorrow night. But it would be great to see you guys all in person. All right, guys, have a great night. And I am looking forward to seeing you all next week for the final session in our series of Act Like a Leader, Think Like a Mogul. Have a great night, guys. Bye.